أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I begin in the name of Almighty Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Praise to Almighty Allah who created the universe with the heavens above and the earth below. The first of our salawat in honor of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. The second in honor of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib. The third with your loudest voices in honor of the Imam of our time, Imam Sahib al-Ashri wal-Zaman. Respected scholars, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. On the night of Ashura, the tents sheltering the families of the 72 martyrs were burnt, and everything, including the ladies' hijab, was stolen from them. Zainab and Kulsum, the granddaughters of the Holy Prophet, were left even without their hijab. The first day after Ashura, Imam Zain al-Abidin and the families of the martyrs were taken as prisoners to Kufa. Imam Zain al-Abidin was heavily chained from top to bottom. Zainab, Kulsum, the rest of the ladies and children of the 72 martyrs all had their hands tied. They were all paraded through the streets and bazaar of Kufa with the heads of the 72 martyrs. The ladies from the family of the Holy Prophet were paraded without their hijab. The family of the Holy Prophet, the Ahlul Bayt, were humiliated, insulted, tortured, abused, and even attacked with stones by the people of Kufa, who had gathered in thousands to make a mockery out of them. Neither were the people of Kufa told the true reason why the 72 were killed in Karbala, nor were they given the true identity of these prisoners. After hours of humiliation on the streets and bazaar of Kufa, they were taken to the courtyard of Ibn Ziyad, the governor of Kufa. Our poor fourth Imam, with his mothers, aunts, sisters and nieces all tied with ropes, covered with dust from the long journey, with their clothes torn from constant whipping, and worst of all, still with no hijab to cover their faces. They were dragged into the courtyard. They were forced to march in front of the evil Ibn Ziyad, who was seated in his majestic throne. He had also invited important and influential guests of Kufa to his courtyard to show off all his success. Just imagine this scene in your mind and feel with your heart the suffering of our dear Imam Zain al-Abidin. He must have felt so humiliated and insulted to see his mother and aunts that paraded in such condition. Ibn Ziyad then looked at the head of Imam Husayn perched high on the spear. He remembered a prisoner in his dungeon who was awaiting eagerly for Imam Husayn to arrive into Kufa. The prisoner was Mukhtar ibn Ubaydullah Saqafi, a brave and strong man who loved the Ahlul Bayt a great deal. Mukhtar was the first to welcome Imam Husayn's cousin, Muslim ibn Aqil, when he arrived in Kufa. Mukhtar had continued supporting Muslim ibn Aqil despite the threats from Ibn Ziyad. For that he was jailed in a dungeon dug deep inside the prison grounds. When Ibn Ziyad saw the head of Imam Husayn, he remembered Mukhtar, the sincere and loyal supporter of Imam Husayn. Ibn Ziyad ordered his guard to bring Mukhtar to his courtyard. Mukhtar, who was heavily chained, was brought to the courtyard where the holy prisoners and the heads of the martyrs were. Ibn Ziyad said to Mukhtar, "O Mukhtar, you have been awaiting for your Imam to come to Kufa. He is now here. Do you want to see him?" Mukhtar was pleased to hear his Imam was in Kufa. He said to Ibn Ziyad, "Yes, Ibn Ziyad, please let me do the ziyarat of my Imam, Imam Husayn ibn Ali." Ibn Ziyad, pointing his finger at Imam Husayn's head, said, "There, Mukhtar, there is your Imam, Husayn ibn Ali. We have killed him." Mukhtar saw the head. He recognized his Imam. His whole body trembled with anger to hear his Imam was killed and to see his head lanced on the spear. he took this opportunity to speak out to all those present there in the courtyard of Ibn Ziyad and let them know the real truth of what had happened in Karbala. Though Imam Zain al-Abidin was very angry, and despite his exhaustion and burden of heavy chains, he spoke out in a calm and clear voice. O son of Ziyad, those ladies whom you insult by calling them slave girls are the granddaughters of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Isn't Prophet Muhammad your prophet and the prophet of all present here? O son of Ziyad, you, on the orders of your master Yazid, for the sake of worldly rewards, have committed terrible sins. You, son of Ziyad, on your direct orders, your men brutally murdered 72 people in Karbala, including young children and a 6-month-old baby, and then ran your horses on their bodies. O son of Ziyad, you claim to be a Muslim, a follower of the Prophet of Islam, and you still ordered the ill treatment of the dead ones in such a horrible manner. You know that the laws of Islam do not allow a Muslim to mistreat the dead ones in such a horrible way. Indeed, you and your master Yazid have committed a terrible sin. You, son of Ziyad, on the orders of your master Yazid, you have brought us here as your prisoners of war. Your men have treated us, including these granddaughters of the Holy Prophet, whom you insult by calling them slave girls, with the utmost cruelty and disrespect, all the way from Karbala to Kufa. You know very well that the Holy Prophet had commanded that all the believers must treat their prisoners of war, especially the children and women, with kindness and respect. O son of Ziyad, today you are boasting over your success, but let me warn you, you will find your success very short-lasting, and very soon the anger of Almighty Allah will descend on you and on those whose orders you are following. Very soon disaster will overcome you and the others who have brutally murdered my father Husayn ibn Ali, the beloved grandson of the Holy Prophet. Then Imam turned to those present of Kufa in the courtyard of Ibn Ziyad and spoke to them. O people of Kufa, Ibn Ziyad, on the orders of his master Yazid, without no mercy has killed Husayn ibn Ali, the beloved grandson of the Holy Prophet, on the land of Karbala. O people of Kufa, Yazid had my father killed because he refused to give bayat to him. My father Husayn refused to accept Yazid as the guiding leader of Muslims because, as you all know, Yazid is not fit to be the guiding leader of Muslims. When he himself openly makes a mockery of the laws of Islam, the Holy Quran and the Holy Prophet, Yazid is a tyrant ruler, bullying his people under his unjust rule. Wow, what a speech by our great Imam. The character of our true Imam was portrayed by our fourth Imam. Despite being very exhausted, emotionally and physically drained and surrounded by dangerous enemies, our great Imam Zain al-Abidin bravely spoke out in a calm and clear voice. He delivered the message of truth to the people present there. History will never forget his speech. Imam Zain al-Abidin, in a very short speech, informed the people of Kufa why and who was killed in Karbala. He informed them about Yazid's wrongdoings and the true identity of the prisoners. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. May Allah remove His mercy from those who transgress. Soon shall those who deal with others unjustly come to know what an evil turning their lot shall turn. Muhammad wa al Muhammad salawat.